जय श्री माता जी। हम सारे सहयोगी नतमस्तक होकर श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। अपना बायां हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर और दाहिना हाथ भूमि माता पर रखेंगे। प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपया हमारी ईड़ा नाड़ी के सारे दोष भूमि तत्व में विलीन कीजिए और हमें संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। अपना दाहिना हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर रखेंगे और बायां हाथ आकाश की ओर। प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी परम कृपा में हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी के सारे दोष आकाश तत्व में विलीन कीजिए और हमें संतुलन दीजिए। अपने दोनों हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर। अपने दोनों हाथों पर चैतन्य का अनुभव करेंगे। अभी अपना चित्त सहस्त्रार के ऊपर परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपया हमें निर्विचार स्थिति प्रदान कीजिए। इसी ध्यान अवस्था में अब हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे और उसके पश्चात थोड़ी देर ध्यान में ही रहेंगे।
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, I would like to thank revered Dr. Nagin Singh ji for being so kind to grace this occasion. Actually, I have always treated him like my Jeshtha, my Jet. I find it difficult even how to express my gratitude. The way he has been kind to get this time, come over and talk to you about me, whom he had known for so many years. The day I knew him, I knew that he was a very, very great soul. But as in the bureaucracy is, you are not supposed to discuss religion. Neither you are supposed to discuss anything that lies beyond your job. But when I was studying minutely the various permutations and combinations of human problems, I was really always very much encouraged to know that there are people like him also. His greatness you will know very soon. And his sister, about whom he was saying, herself is another very great soul. And the night I spent with her, I was really so much enamored and encouraged to see such a learned personality. Like her brother, she knew so much of beautiful things about God. And beautiful things she said from Raghuvansha and Kalidasa. I found myself very lonely, always, where I could not talk of God and His greatness and His kindness for human beings in the company of people who were doing other work than the work of God. It was such a solace. And such a hope that people who apparently appear to be in the charge of helm of affairs are also in charge of the helm of affairs of God. A day will come when they will take up their new roles, when they will become aware that it is God who rules everything. It is He who does everything. It is He who has created everything, and it is He who enjoys everything. For this awareness, as you have very kindly said, sir, is important that you have to be fortunate seekers. The seeking ultimately has to come to human beings, because all that is done through mental projections and conceptions has one good point, that it is always exposed and comes to an end. Every such enterprise of human beings only moves in a linear way, and at a point it drops down. That's why all our conceptions and all our ideas are challenged after some time. In politics, when we talk of communism, or of democracy or capitalism, we are talking of a concept but not of reality. For me, I am the greatest capitalist, I think, because I know my powers and my properties, and I own them. And I am the greatest communist, that despite having everything in life, I cannot enjoy my life without sharing it. Every moment of it, every bit. So the meeting point only comes when all these ideologies become one at the lotus feet of your spirit. Spirit is the only thing that is at the center. And at the periphery, if you look at things, they look as if they are separate and different. But if you can approach somehow into that state where your spirit resides, you will be amazed to see that everything integrates, everything coordinates, and there is no difference, say in Muhammad Sahib, Dattatreya, Raja Janaka, or Shri Sainath. There is no difference in their principle. If you can just get to your spirit. But this is a very major step for human beings. It's a very major step for human beings. Because they want to live with concept and not with reality. This is one of the problems which we have faced throughout in Sahaja Yoga. All of us have faced it. Even about compassion, we have a concept. For example, if somebody has a hospital and goes to the hospital regularly and treats some patients and doesn't take money, we think he's a very compassionate person. This is also our concept about compassion. Actually, when reality expresses itself as compassion, then you don't do anything about it. For example, to say that I raise your kundalini, also I don't know if I do that. Because you are all ready, you are all like candles. I am a candle which is enlightened. And if this candle enlightens another one, I do not think I have done a great job. Because if I am enlightened, and if you are ready, and if I enlighten your candle, then it's just done. This is what reality is. There's no question of having any humility about it, but that's a fact. I really do not do anything. You are all made ready for this purpose. God has prepared you like this, and you just have to accept yourself, and if this works out in a simple, straightforward manner, you get your realization. Many people think that I have cured people, so I have done any sort of a good deed or maybe some obligation. But to be very frank, that is also a concept. Because what do I do to a person? When I cure that person, I don't do anything. The reason is when I feel that I am yourself, you are a part and parcel of me. It is not that I feel from my brain, but actually it is in my central nervous system, actually I feel that you are a part and parcel of me. When Dr. Saab's sister was sitting next to me, I myself felt the pain within myself because her body is part of me and I am part of her. And I asked her, have you got a pain in this portion? She said, yes, how do you know? I said, I can't tell you at this stage, but you will also know the same way. So when nobody is the other, then where is the compassion? Because supposing this finger is paining, and if I try to rub it, am I doing any compassion to this finger? Because it is a part and parcel of me. So the difference between the reality and the concept is this, that with concept we develop egos, or we develop another system by which we feel obliged or anything. But with reality, you just do it. It just works. You start speaking in third person, like you say, it doesn't work out, it works out, it is rising. What is this it? That is working it out. Then you realize that you are working for that great power of God, which is His divine love, which is all pervading, which is doing all living work, and you have become part and parcel of that. Same thing I found about the concept of ego, which has gone to such an extent that in the West, if you go, you recognize it much more than you recognize in India, because we are very good at hiding it. We may be very egoistical, but in our every day-to-day life, we are extremely humble to express it. If you go to a party Simple thing I will tell you. And if you don't drink, everybody will say, why don't you drink? You must drink. Or they'll force you. Go and force it. You say, Baba, I don't drink. You have to tell some lie. You have to tell for this to hide this thing from others. To achieve a greater goal, you have to give up some lower goals of telling lies also. And you have to say that a doctor has told me not to drink. Oh, forget the doctor. Then if you say that, now see, problem is I have allergies. I'll get into trouble. Somehow you escape it. But if you even once say that why do you drink? Then you are a matron, you are very oriented, you are very interfering, you are trying to show off. See, the concept of ego is just, to be virtuous is a problem these days. If you are virtuous, everybody will attack you. But if you even mention about virtue, you are out for a crucifixion, or you are out for poisoning, or something people will do. Because of the concept of ego. But in Sahaja Yoga, ego is not a concept but a reality. Because when a person becomes egoistical, his Agya Chakra catches. So he comes to the Sahaja Yoga center and says, now see, my Agya has got off. He says, I am suffering from ego disease, openly, without feeling shy about it. Because it's like a sari which is now become black, so I better get it clean. He is not identified. Concepts give you all misidentifications with everything. So when it comes to reality, all these misidentifications just drop. And that's why I have seen people transform so fast. I mean, you can't believe how people transform. Now, as Dr. Warren has told you, that West, we have lots of seekers. But the Western civilization is the civilization of the tree. They are growing without their roots, while we Indians know about the roots. We are not bothered. They are not at all in the knowledge of their roots. The trouble is they become so ego-oriented that their concept of ego makes them forget that they have roots. Even to accept that they have roots, they find it impossible. Under these circumstances, what happens? That the ego itself reacts on them. And that's why all the Western societies today are collapsing under that pressure of ego. But if you have to talk to them, it is not possible to tell them. For example, in Sahaja Yoga, we believe in a very moral life. In a moral life where you are married to a woman and lead a very moral life. But we don't talk about it till you get your realization. After realization, automatically they accept. But by chance, if you say that you have to be moral, then they just get after you. They said, we have achieved our freedom and this Victorian lady is telling us some out-of-date things, and why should we accept? So the concept of ego itself is so funny that they do not know that they are catching on their Agya Chakra. In this great assembly of realized souls, which is a very, very great thing to have so many saints sitting around. You know that ego means the catch of the Agya Chakra. And it's a reality. Somebody may say, I have no ego. All right, you have none. Because better not say. But supposing it's a realized soul, he'll say, Mother, I have got my Agya Chakra catching. You please take it up. Because it becomes a reality to him. And when it becomes a reality, you must know you are enlightened. If it is all darkness, you do not see anything. But when there is light, you start seeing what's wrong with you. You start seeing that we are sitting under one hall. Any problem to this hall is going to cause problem to all of us. And that's how you become collectively conscious within yourself. This is also another concept people have. In the United Nations and everything, I've seen that it is only they are working on the concept which they got it from their unconscious. But in reality, they haven't got it on their central nervous system as you all have got. They will say, all right, you are brother and sisters, we must help the nations, we must do this and all that. But when it comes to reality, when it comes to the working of it, you find they do not do it. They just do the other way around. Now how, you cannot explain. You may write books after it, and you may write dogmas, and you may write many articles about it. But actually they just cannot do it by temperament, because they are not spirits. But when you become the spirit being the collective consciousness itself, the reality, the concept becomes your awareness. In your chetana, you start feeling others within yourself. So what is there from Canada or from Australia? I feel when these people meet, the way they love each other, the way they enjoy each other. When these Westerners go to the small villages in India, the way those villagers just embrace them, and the way they become one with each other. We have never seen people going into politics, fighting with each other, or telling lies about each other, but just a meeting of these people like a huge family. The whole system of joy, giving and enjoying, is so beautiful that even to watch that itself is like watching a very beautiful drama of Krishna's Leela. I have seen this happening in all the parts of the country. When the people come from across, they may be Muslims, Hindus, whatever they are, the friendship and the love and the fondness to do for others is so great that people are surprised that how can it be that these people who are living together like this are so much helpful to each other, so much loving to each other. They never fight, they never quarrel, they never talk against each other. There is no question of people who will try to cut each other's throat, because the competition is in loving mode. The competition is giving mode. The competition is understanding. There is no problem in the society of Sahaja. Sir, you will be happy to know, though our society is not so large. Compared to this universe, ours is a very small society. But you will be amazed, we never have problems which normal people have. We are really abnormally normal, because we have no angularities, we have no problems. People have become so honest, so courageous, so good, so loving, so giving. I myself sometimes, I feel so enamored by this expression of love, and it's the waves of this ocean of love that spreads all over the world. Even if you meet one single Sahaja somewhere, you'll be amazed the way he leads his life and the way he is so beautiful that he impresses people immediately. Though some people do try to trouble him. But God looks after Sahajogis, is a fact, and Sahajogis, all of you know how he looks after and how he just tries to protect you in a very simple and beautiful way. To know God itself is such a great blessing, because he is the God Almighty, the God who has all the powers and all the love for us. He is our Father who is waiting for us to enter into his kingdom, to enjoy that peace and beauty of his being, because he has created us and he wants this creation to come up to that. Today, the great day of Holi Dahana, Holika Dahana, where the symbolism of this occasion is that the satanic forces were burnt by the innocence of Prahlada. And that is what we have to remember, that when the Sahajogis take to innocence and complete dependence onto their vibratory awareness, which is the indication of God's manifestation through them, they are completely protected, and even satanic person like Holika could not burn him. And this is the day today we have to recognize that as Sahajogis, we stand in no dangers in that. We are fearless people, but we are humble people, loving people, and anxious to save as many as possible, to raise the whole humanity into another awareness. In the process of your evolution, you have to achieve that, for which you have to work hard. As Tukarama has said very clearly, "Yerya gabalyache kam nohe" is the work of the great Vedas. Only the courageous can do it, because you know how sometimes one has to face this world with difficulties and criticisms, and how people try to insult you and trouble you, where you have to keep your peace. As realized souls, I congratulate you very much. So many realized souls are sitting here today. Is the greatest honor for any mother to see. My age is now quite a lot, as you know, and I never felt 10 years back that within 10 years I will see so many people being realized. My father, as I told you, was a very great soul, and he himself had told me that unless and until you find out a amas method of realization, you should not talk about it. Because unless and until it is amas, people are not going to recognize God, nor they are going to recognize any saints. But today, when it has become the reality, when it is no more a concept, God is no more a concept, is the reality, the joy and happiness of your spirit, the Satchidananda Sthiti, is just manifesting, and I am enjoying all that. I do not know how to thank for organizing the birthday of your mother. Normally people don't think of the mother in Kali Yuga, they say. But I must tell you, there is one person sitting before you, Dr. Nagan Singh. He was a great devotee of his mother, and his mother was a realized soul, a great realized soul. I've met her many a times, and I always made it a point to see her, and her children have got that from her. And this is what one has to recognize, that in this world there are many people who are basically very great spirits. Only thing you have to approach them, find them out, understand them, and discover them. Now, Sahajogis are not so much upset as they were about 10 years back. Now they know that there are many people in this world who understand Sahaja. But that's not sufficient. We have to give many realization. Thousands and thousands of people have to get realization. This is to prove, when you celebrate my birthday, that this is not anymore a Kali Yuga, but a Krita Yuga has started. And that Krita Yuga has to be finished now to bring the Satya Yuga on this world. To my great country, India, I bow, because she is a yoga guru. And as Indians, you have a special advantage, because as I told you that Ashtavinayakas all are here, all the Jyotirlingas are here, all the Adishakti's Pithas are here, all the 3.5 Pithas of the Kundalini are in Maharashtra. All of you know all about it. But there is something more we have to get from the West, and that is the great saints that are born in the West. It's most surprising that they are very saintly. And once they take to Sahaja Yoga, they really dedicate themselves, and they think there's nothing more needed to be done. This is what their life is. The way they have worked in Australia, I was amazed. There are 5 centers they have started, and every center is doing so well that it's amazing to see how these people. Warren got his realization only 2 years back, can you believe it? And he took Sahaja Yoga to Australia, and today you find so many people in a hall. Every hall I spoke, there were 400 to 600 people. Not only, but all of them who got realization settled down into Sahaja Yoga. Absolutely settled down. So the same way one has to feel though you, being Indians, get realization very fast, no doubt, much faster than them. You have much greater facility. Because of your punyas, you are born in this punya. But still, one has to know that in Sahaja Yoga, you have to work out in such a way that this Sahaja Yoga becomes a Mahayoga as predicted by Ganeshwara. I'm sure with all your love and affection for each other, for me, and for the whole humanity, in my lifetime, I'll be able to see that you have achieved that great state within yourself, and without that, people would say the Mahayoga has really been accomplished by Sahaja Yogis. May God bless you. So now, if the guests want to go away, vote of thanks. When I say vote of thanks, the guests want to go away. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद में
परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज के इस सामूहिक ध्यान के लिए और आपके अनंत आशीर्वाद के लिए हम सारे सहयोगी आपके अत्यंत ऋणी हैं। श्री माता जी, आपको कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद और कोटि कोटि प्रणाम श्री माता जी। हम सभी नतमस्तक होकर श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। जय श्री माता जी।